Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. We are the Chaos Agents, and we have wrapped up Season 1, the Waterdeep Dragon Heist arc that expanded into something more, something that I think was really special for a lot of us, me especially. And
it was supposed to just be a one-shot.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry in the first 5 minutes, Thomas. That's not playing fair.
It was not supposed to be a one shot. Thank you very much.
Speed run, Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Very on brand. So before we jump into this, just a couple of announcements. Throughout, well, not throughout, but ever since we met Nord Games, they've been a great company to talk about, and we have an affiliate program with them. And every time you buy something from them that's not a Kickstarter, using our code, we get a little percentage and it helps us pay the bills. So if you keep doing that, that is awesome. Thank you, Spike, for setting that up for us. It's been good for us, and you know they've got awesome stuff, so you should really buy stuff and use our link. And if you use the code CADIC20, you get 20% off. They have a Kickstarter going on right now for Dangerous Destinations, which is almost over. Yesterday at this time, there were 65 hours left. So I'm going to guess that there are only 41 left, if my math is correct.
Let me double check for you, buddy.
Harry,
I think it is
3.
I'm not doing math today.
I blindly agreed.
So if we can all rally together and get them over $250,000, that would be awesome. They use that money, this spoiler alert, they use that money to pay salaries and to develop the books and to make content and to publish and ship everything. And it's not like they're doing Kickstarter to publish books. They're doing this Kickstarter to create the books and have a company that can stay afloat, especially during the period where there are no conventions, where a company like Nord Games can make a lot of their money at conventions selling these things. Because when you look at one of their books or their decks, they are professional. They are as good as Wizards of the Coast. They're as good as anything out there. I would say even better than a lot of other things. And it's tough not having conventions. So if you could support them, use our affiliate link and support us as well. That's awesome. And then speaking of Kickstarters, Birds of Paradise has wrapped up theirs. They are getting, we filled out our forms. So that means like stuff is happening. And I imagine
stuff is on the move.
I imagine that there are things on a boat that will eventually be off the boat and then will be onto trucks and into your hands. All right. Now I think we should do some, let's see what's going on. We're going to be taking your questions all evening, however long we are going. So we're going to start off with thank you, Apanthrope, for gifting subs. That is awesome. We appreciate that. We have the Hefner with 1,500 bits. There are currently 23 in the boy, which means that whatever happens tonight, we will trigger and do a giveaway on Rime of the Frost Maiden.
Ooh. Have you guys done a giveaway on Rime?
I think we did some, but this will be the first boy trigger, I think.
Nice. It's a milestone, being around long enough to get to do something like that.
And that is on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. We were taking naps. The character's taking naps.
I mean, mood though.
We then have the Baroness with $1,500 to match her illustrious cohort moderator. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate
$1,500 or bits?
He did
bits,
say dollars.
1,500 bits. I said dollars. It's 1,500 bits. You know what? It's every bit counts, and we appreciate everyone. So thank you.
It does, and we do.
It keys.
Urban Mass subscribed for 28 months. That's more than Amy.
Bought in way before Amy did.
And Amy just forgets. She's subscribed to Twitch Prime.
And you have to redo that every month, and it's a pain in the neck to remember.
They know what they're doing.
I can't believe that when we first started this, that was like a big push. Like, if you subscribe with Twitch Prime, like, and
remember
every stream everywhere was doing it all at the same
Mhm.
time, almost the same script. You have to renew every month. So good, such good times way back when.
Damn you, Bezos.
When we could actually see you people in real life. Bezos is gone. I wonder how much that's going to change Twitch. There are probably people frothing at the mouth to get their claws entrenched in Twitch, and Bezos was staving them off.
Yet, is he?
He's
Well,
still
he's
gonna be
done.
the chairman. He's he whatever he wants will happen.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it's like when when Russia had a president that wasn't Putin. Yeah, okay,
Sure.
you're the president. Sure.
I'm trying to remember when that happened.
8 years ago. It was Mulvaney. Was that? Wasn't that it? Anyway,
Mulvaney.
yeah, they changed the constitution so that he can become president again. You know.
Oh, well. Nope, not wandering into
Medvedev?
politics tonight. Let's not do
Yep.
that.
All right.
Looks
So then
a
we
little
have.
Mulvaney.
What?
Sorry,
No.
it's Vaney. It's just, I don't know, something about Mulvaney's name. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm
It's
gonna
totally
find it.
not Mulvaney. I think that's one of like.
That's Mick Mulvaney.
Yeah.
Nick
I will
Mulvaney
find
or,
it.
or John Mulaney is as a comedian.
Mick,
like
well, Mick
Mulaney.
Mulvaney was the chief of staff of President Trump. No, acting chief of staff.
Exactly.
Acting,
That's
acting,
what-
yeah, Yeah.
Oh,
a bunch of fucking acting people because they never went through the process of fucking getting people approved.
2
The
F-bombs
Senate.
in the first 10 minutes. I'm impressed, Warren.
Fuck,
Past
man.
5 though.
Look around, you can steal
Medvedev,
City Hall.
That's it. Dmitry
Medvedev. Yep.
Medvedev. Yeah.
Ah.
Anyway,
Called
then
it.
we have Duke Fleeg with 1,500 bits.
You're
He
great.
says, because I'm just a follower, that is not true. Duke
No.
Fleeg is a patron. He is someone who plays games with us. He is a valued member of this community. Not just-
100%.
And just a
Boom. You are
wonderful
loved.
person.
Look at Thomas dropping facts.
Yes.
Spitting them facts.
Someone who shares their internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You made the stream happen more than a few nights for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
For
At
me at
least
least.
2.
Mhm.
So thank you guys. So we are going to jump into the show proper, which is, hey, it's Q&A time. Let's
Okay.
we're gonna first take a look at the Foxy Irregulars after having defeated the Archdevil Mammon. We'll get to that question in a little while.
I know. I had a laugh over that earlier.
And it was an easy win, totally easy win.
I almost
And-
died.
Whoa, yeah, that was hard. We lost
I
a
literally was
Wow.
1 point from death.
I am very glad. So, spoiler alert! I was talking with Spike about strategy, and he's like, "Do you remember all of these cleric things that you can do, like Death Ward, which is not concentration, or this, and this that are not concentration?" Tiana, you've been playing a cleric for how long? I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I would have died. Otherwise, if you
have.
didn't.
Yeah, Seth, me too. I definitely want to. He's milling around somewhere.
But did you die?
Oh no.
I actually really liked the encounter. I thought it was difficult.
hard, but it was great.
It was difficult, but not too difficult. I think that we saw a lot of great teamwork. I did see what Thomas said about it, wanting the other Ice Devils to cut off members of the party a little more with their walls of ice. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing I didn't want. So it definitely was a hard encounter. But what I didn't want to do was kill you all in the last episode. Honestly, I didn't want to kill you all any episode. I wanted to get you guys close.
Sure.
Okay,
Um,
because I thought there's been some days where I was like, I'm just gonna kill them all.
I went through sort of like the stages of death in that last encounter, right? I was just kind of like, shit, this is fucking hard, knowing what it takes to down one ice devil and then see three of them and then, Mammon. But yeah, so if you'd asked me at the beginning of the encounter, I'm like, we're so screwed. But as it went on, I was like, I started, hopefully it's gotten to the same mark that the viewers went through. It was like, wait, we can do this,
Mhm.
and that's definitely something that Uzo went through. Uzo went in like completely happy with the story if it ends right there, Warren winning with the same thought. But as it progressed, he was like, wait a second, I can make it out of this. Like, holy cow. Yeah.
I really liked the opportunity to fight as a level 12. This is the highest level that I've ever actually played with. So it was really nice to be able to stretch our legs in that way, but not only just for our individual characters, as a team with level 12 abilities, being able to see how that goes back and forth. I thought that was really cool to see kind of the culmination of us building this team up to this point and being able to play as a team with these very high level characters. I thought it was really, really fun. A couple of the things that I really, really liked was the exhaustion bit. Loved that.
Love with a capital H.
No, I thought that was very cool because it wasn't.
It's an interesting mechanic.
It wasn't permanent. You know, it was tied to the concentration portion of the spell, and I think that that's a really cool idea. I like that a lot.
And honestly, you should. Honestly, the only time that the wall of ice really screwed us over was right at the beginning, because Uzo and I were trapped on the other side and just like, I can see kind of, and that's all I really need, but I'd like to get closer, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the curve
out of it with the
curved blast, and I was like, I'm gonna stay. I can stay in this doorway, but she's probably a little bit more effective. But I just as a role playing tool, I really don't like using Dimension Door, because that's like my fail safe. Like if I need to just like pull the ripcord and get the fuck out of here, that's it.
But where were you going to go? It's only 500 feet. Where would you have gone?
Outside with Behemoth and Bagamat, and
who were exhausted, bleeding, and
what does that look like? Poof! They didn't make it. Let's go.
Run! Let's get the hell out
Oh, we would have been
tried.
So screwed.
Plan B.
We would have been so screwed if you had done that. I'm glad you used a Dimension Door to get me closer. Thank you.
Run! Yeah.
Plan B. Uzo gets a spin up.
Thank God, Uzo's like first move is pulling his parachute so he can't get out of the fight and leave us there.
A lot of that too. I'm like, Thomas fucking did this, so I had to do this, right? Like that's going in my head. Thomas just did this to spite me. Fuck.
I did it because controlling the battlefield is one of the most important ways to win any fight.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll tell you a story later about how spike growth in Greece won us a fight that we really shouldn't have won.
All right. Well, we did win this one, and we should have.
We did. It was great.
You did win after a brutal fight, and then Tiamat showed up. I don't know if you guys for a moment thought that would be.
There was a second.
Another episode.
I thought. There
was a second where I wondered, is she okay? So I saw the newsletter, ! Newsletter, I guess. Is she actually the ruler of the third level of hell now? I thought the idea was that she would be imprisoned there. That's what I had understood.
It's sometimes, as a ruler, you feel obligated to. It was a step up.
Weasel words.
It was a step up from being in prison to So Tiamat will have power, but Behemoth being back will also have offsetting power.
That's awesome.
So the after you finish that, so Tiamat showed up. Asmodeus showed up to guide her around and tell her about her new found position. Behemoth plane shifted you guys back to Waterdeep, however, could not come within the city due to the magical wards against dragons. And from there, let's kind of pick up over the next, for the Foxy Irregulars, the next couple of months. And let's just see what's happening. Who would like to go first?
I can. So after we get some much deserved sleep that night, kind of settling back into the inn, figuring out what's going on, Andraste will reach out with sending to Clint to tell him gods were involved. We're back in Waterdeep. Please bring the irregular Phoenix back to Waterdeep. And then over the next, you said it would be 2 months for the irregular Phoenix to get back to Waterdeep, which is why we have this time frame.
Yes.
He says questioningly.
Yes.
Over the next 2 months, with Remy nagging at her and her occasionally being like, yes, all right, I know. She calls the ship every day to basically be like, are you good? Are you still on track to get back home?
Tell him to stay out of my quarters.
He's technically kind of the captain now.
He can sleep in Uzos.
He's technically kind of the captain now. He needs to be up in the area where it's easiest.
He's like
to
a deputy captain, really. That's like a first mate.
It's like adapted.
So
Yeah.
he can have the first mate's quarters.
Uzo's down anyway. So yes, I would check in with them every day, and then over the course of the couple of months, we were talking about this before the stream began, and getting back into the life of the tavern, helping to improve it, do more programming with it, but also Andraste is a member of the Emerald Enclave, so she is spending time building those connections, building the connection back with the land, because she spent all of this time running all over Hell's Half Acre, very literally, very recently, and really wants to get her feet back in the dirt type of thing and start restoring the balance. But she's not leaving the Foxy Irregulars. She sometimes drags them along on Emerald Enclave missions. There was one notable instance with rogue treants that we dealt with. But on the whole, she sticks with the tavern, she sticks with the Emerald Enclave, and ranges out now and again and comes back because this is her family. She's not going anywhere.
Treants with levels in rogue. My God.
I was about to say, are they swashbucklers? Like, we better look out.
Treants are mean, man. But you have a light cleric dealing with treants. It's fun. They go up a whole lot faster, especially when they have access to Fireball.
Remy's just sitting there like, what did you need me here for again?
Because I like the look of your face. Deal with it.
The face by the fire. The glow is beautiful. Just to the right.
Especially since I can, in fact, drop Fireball with him in the middle of things, and I know he'll probably be fine.
Man, I really like having that evasion. That's a game changer.
Right.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, my Rogue Bard just got that, and oh man, game changer.
In terms of Waterdeep, Uzo, I just imagine, after Uzo gets dragged from the cobblestone by Ruckus into the bar, basically taking, dead to the world for like 20 days, right? Just kind of passed out. And having sort of like a self-centering moment around, wanting to adventure out. Andraste has this thing from the Emerald Enclave, or Remy wants to go on this trip and needs an extra set of hands, and Uzo just kind of having a heartfelt, this is my home. I have to help make it better here for everyone who is like me and downtrodden. So Uzo I am trying to build up the school, trying to make it a training and supporting place for people and displaced youth to come through. It hosts a variety of guest speakers and teachers who come through Waterdeep, hopefully to make it marvel the Waterdeep Library in terms of an academic location. If I venture out and do some adventuring, it will be within the city walls, helping Barnabas solve the more heinous crimes that hurt our community. But I am not a professional officer of the city. I do have my workings and comings and goings with the Harpers still, but more of a purveyor of information and knowledge and less of an active member. If the fat drunk who calls himself an adventurer can sit in the city and do nothing while it burns, I can sit back and run a school and still be just as useful. What is that guy's name again? The original Harper in Waterdeep, who Uzo's, their paths just keep crossing, and we've never fucking been.
Harper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. They're
Oh.
never
Sorry.
they're
Mr.
never in the
Harper.
same place at the same
a-
time.
Banker guy, wasn't it? Mert?
Mert,
Yeah,
the
Mert.
money
Yeah, yeah,
lender.
Mert, the
Mert.
money lender, yeah.
Why do I remember this?
So so
good.
Mert and Durham actually went down into Undermount together. I think they came back together. So they're both sort of these legendary figures. Just one's a bartender and one's fat.
We
Nice.
we went into Underdark. Don't recommend it, or Undermountain. Don't recommend it.
As far as the bar, Uzo is more of a regular than, you know, an owner contributor. He doesn't stay there. He stays at the orphanage. He does bring some of the older children, teenagers, to kind of do chores and help out with the cook, whoever the woman is that we hired to manage it.
Rachel.
Rachel is very familiar with the children and the teens as he tries to kind of get them established and working, contributing members and blah blah blah. With the Behemoth released, I'd imagine, Tom's, we discussed, like there is a temple there, which Uzo goes more to, you know, be close to Medusa, who is now sort of consulting, but also stays away from the orphanage, but is encouraged to come by whenever she can. But Uzo not wanting to force piety on the kids, he does go to help out and brings them with him. And every once in a while, someone look over, Uzo, are you praying? No, shut up. I'm communing with Bagamat. I'm not praying. I'm not. Leave me alone.
No, never.
You're praying.
What's wrong with you?
But I think the only adventuring and things he's doing outside of Waterdeep would be to likely enlist Remy's help, because he would like to plan a trip with. He wants to plan a trip with Medusa to Patakatifu, the city the city he dreamed about that she had mentioned while he was a kid. So she still acts as a mentor to him, and he sort of acts as a headmaster at the school.
Did Medusa come back with us? I thought she was
She
in
stayed.
Portoria.
She stayed, but he communicates with her every once in a while.
Are you asking Andraste to do sendings now and again?
Someone's doing a sending.
God damn.
It's not necessarily Andraste, but someone's doing a sending.
You got to do it yesterday.
I have all
Talk to
of this
Clint.
bloody divine power at my fingertips. And what am I? A glorified messenger.
Look, when they create some kind of clockwork robot thing that can do this for you, great. Until that time, please.
Uzo also, I mean, he can read anything. So he's learning how to write. And it's not always the best, right? He still signs his name with a big X. So he's sending these letters off to Medusa, and it looks like it was written by like a 4-year-old
yeah.
tiefling out of his academy.
It's still written like bad fanfic. The metaphors are kind of on the nose.
How dare you call the tall halfling bad fanfic? It's good fanfic, sir.
I'd imagine
I
that.
didn't say anything.
It's actually lore, though. It's not even fanfic.
I know.
Yeah.
It's in
I
the
would
world.
love that someone like those books and scrolls that Uzo just keeps embedding in the world have like are giving business to the irregular tavern. People coming to see the Foxy Irregulars based on, you know, the goblins' tales and these random scrolls that they keep finding that tells stories about the magnificent Uzo.
I mean, we are 12th level adventurers. That is not a small thing. That gets a lot of attention.
We could host TED Talks. You know, irregular talks.
I would pay money to see Ruckus's TED Talk.
It's just him using the jump spell a lot and being like, wasn't that cool?
I invite him
Let me
over
explain why that's cool.
I invite
hour.
him to the orphanage for combat training, but it's mostly to like attack him and be like, this is the vulnerable part. And then I throw him, I hip toss him. And you see when you do that, it's really effective. Don't worry. Bam. It does not hurt him. You know,
With Ruckus's 26 strength, or 24, what is it?
It's 27 if I use shield.
Well, that's your
no,
AC.
but your strength.
Strength.
Oh, strength. Yeah, it's like 23.
Wow.
Every time Uzo's like, take the belt off.
And Ruckus is like, you want me to get whacked? I am not taking this belt off. Screw you.
I like to think I get up off the ground and I say, "This is what a man looks like attacked by 6 animals. Go bags!" And I throw all 6 animals.
6 seconds apart, of course.
I choose all of you.
Yeah, we are absolutely. You're more than a regular at the orphanage because those bags of animals become very, very well known.
I'll bet Norman cuddles up with some of the orphans now and again, where they just like braid his hair.
Yeah, he's just sitting there with his boar scowl while this like little dragonborn is just like knotting up his hair. Yeah,
Norman the bouncer.
Assuming
So,
we get Norman to not attack Remy.
What is Ruckus up to?
I would like to say that I guess after like calming down from it, he's a little upset he didn't get to fight Asmodeus head on because he would have liked to fight the strongest around. It seemed like he was pretty up there, but his fate was sealed.
Don't worry, I can tell you all about it, friend.
What? We'll get there. But he vouches to the team, I would like to say, for a loan, enough money for him to possibly buy back his estate. Because he doesn't, I think he knows where it would be, but he has to go see what. Yeah, his old estate. Yeah, the one that burned. I don't know, or the land that it's on, or I don't know if it's still burned. I don't think we ever discussed that. But if it's still burned or destroyed, or someone else bought it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find that land and make, just see who's there, and I'll either pay the debt or I'll make a deal. I'll figure out how to pay and get that land and rebuild the estate.
So are you heading off to Baldur's Gate to do that?
I'd like to say yes, and I do it successfully.
Okay. So about 10 days after being in the tavern, you kind of get that feeling that it's like, okay, things are fine here. You know, you're not being attacked by devils and all this other stuff that you've been up to. You head to Baldur's Gate and you talk to the Asmodeus priest that is there. That sort of helped you get in.
Can I go with them with my family, by the way?
If you would like to, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she would probably have some stuff to wrap up in Baldur's Gate and do there too. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, and before they leave, Andraste would pull Ruckus aside a little bit and be like, "So I understand that this might be a touchy question." And I'm prefacing all of my thought with, "This might be touchy, and I'm sorry." Did your family's bodies burn in the estate, or were they buried?
I didn't bury them, and I'm sure whoever was ransacking the place didn't either. So, to my knowledge, I believe they burned in the home.
All right. Sorry, don't mean to bring up such a touchy subject.
It's fine. Time heals all wounds, and I'm about to get some closure on this.
Every time you guys leave the city, Uzo looks at you like it's the last time. It's like, and they are off to go die now. They are not my problem. Yeah.
Stop giving us that look.
I'm saying goodbye to Andraste, and I'm like, and message Clint, and then the next day message me, or if you want to message me the same day, that would be great.
You understand that I have enough power to be able to message both of you in the same day relatively easily, right?
I don't know how clerics work.
You get left on red.
I get 2 spells a day. 2 spells.
I get significantly more than that. And some of them are very, very powerful.
Well, do check in. I'll let you know how Ruckus is doing, and I'll make sure he stays out of trouble.
Good luck with that. But let me know what you find in the estate, if you would.
I think I will, but I can probably tell you it's going to be a lot of feelings is what we're going to find there.
That's why I'm asking you, not Ruckus.
I'll keep a good head on my shoulders. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
So it takes you quite a while to get down there. It's by ship. It's the fastest. So you guys hire a ship. Well, my fastest is teleport, and I think Barnabas would have stopped by and talked to you and heard about this. So
I was going to talk to him, but yeah.
Okay.
And if not that, I would talk to Lady Jareth because I'm doing enough favors for the Emerald Enclave to be like, can you just send those two to Baldur's Gate?
Yeah. So Barnabas does help you, Ruckus and Remy and family to teleport between the two places and facilitates that via teleportation circle. So it doesn't take you, a month of travel to get down there and back and fighting giants and everything in between. So.
Oh yeah, it was a month.
We're going to come back as level 15. What's up, guys?
All right. At level 12, I'm strong enough.
With how we level, you would only just be level 13.
Yeah, seriously.
That's fair.
So you do in fact it's reluctantly, but once you are in town, the priest from Asmodeus actually reaches out and helps facilitate the purchase of the estate for you.
Oh, I'm overjoyed by that.
Yeah, and he absolutely makes sure that there's no strings attached.
Weird you had to say that to me.
I mean,
No,
devils.
I do ask him what he did with that sphere of annihilation.
Yeah, is my other half of my axe beak in that? Because is that still there?
Jump in. Don't.
Don't jump in. I like you.
You can also go to Uzo for the teleportation because he can transcribe that ritual now that he has. He is strong enough to do that. And use
That's
it.
cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
that one that we never used that we saved for a rainy day, and then like.
So is that
Never came far in that.
teleportation circle? You are the level that you can cast it.
It is. I don't have my book, but I just remember it being a use once with the ritual casting, because I didn't have something to transcribe it, whether it was the gold at the level to cast it or.
So it's a 5th level spell. It is not a ritual.
Is there a different teleportation?
So teleportation circle is not, not a ritual.
Nope.
It's conveyed to me on a scroll as a ritual. It's canon now.
Well,
Can't
there's
walk that back.
Check the
Can't
tapes.
walk away.
Check the tapes.
Got him.
Got him.
There's a difference between a spell scroll and a ritual.
Yeah. Anyway, so you see, because you could only learn the spell if it was a ritual to put it into your Grand Grimoire or whatever it's called.
Pact of the Tome.
So okay, but so you do not know that. It is not a ritual.
It's not a ritual as teleportation circle is written, or teleportation.
You got in
Sorry,
trouble with scrying this way.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
is stone skin a ritual?
I don't think so.
But I have it as a ritual. I was given to it as a ritual.
Are we going down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, we are.
So we got to replay the entire last episode.
Oh God.
It was like episode 70-ish
It's a
where I was debating
concentration.
selling it.
It's a concentration, but not a ritual.
So is stone skin. Stone skin's concentration, but I use it as a ritual. It's a ritual that I put in the book. All right, we'll shelf this. We'll shelf this.
To be shelved.
Campaign 2, hopefully the players will read their abilities.
I think I did all
Going
right.
off of what the DM tells me. The DM, you know what? If the DM says it's okay, fuck the rules. It is okay.
I concur with
It's the
that.
truth.
A boulder wouldn't have killed me.
Oh no, that would have killed you.
Yeah, absolutely would kill you.
There was
You're
maybe
lucky.
like a roll of 20.
Yeah, you're lucky you missed that. Okay. So you're able to do that. You're facilitating. You had the deed. So there's a family that's living there. Did you want to kick them out and take it over? Did you want to?
I would like to offer them enough. I'm not gonna kick them out, but I will offer them enough money to leave, to get out. I'll pay you to leave. Get out. I'll do whatever it takes, but also this home means a lot to me.
Were these homeowners?
They were renters. I'll just say they're renters.
Okay,
So
it's
the
not
landlord
squatters,
sold
right?
it to you. So this house was also rebuilt. The yard looks the same and the wall around it. The rest of it is burnt down and rebuilt, and it doesn't even look like your home.
I will still take it.
So you buy it.
It's a fixer-upper for sure.
You kick the family out.
Here's some money.
Then you
Bye.
teleport back to Waterdeep to. Or are you going to stay and live in Baldur's Gate?
I'm going to rent it out as a timeshare.
Left the family in there.
No.
You could have just left them. What's wrong with you?
I will sticking to that. And an additional stop along the way. But since we're teleporting, can I ask to teleport somewhere else after? Now that I have this house, now that I'm not gonna live there. But team, we can live here whenever we want. I have a home for us ready.
You just kick the next person out, whoever's renting it.
I
So
will
sorry,
pay them
we need this for the weekend. Get out.
I will pay my tenants to leave. As good landlords do.
What area of Baldur's Gate is it? Is it in the high end area?
Oh,
or
yeah,
is it,
yeah, it's-
You're never
it's-
kidding.
you gotta
it's
evict
not-
them so you can bump the rent up.
There were many rules broken in Palm's Greece to allow you to buy that, because really it's for only the upper echelon families who are generationally there. Then the only reason you were able to do that is that you were able to prove who you were. So you actually had to sign for that as Malcolm Quinn.
Ooh.
And I did. And I renamed it the Quinn Estate. And then
The quintessential estate.
Quinn Timeshare.
Oh, why do I hang out with you guys?
Because we're geniuses.
Okay.
It's scary.
So, okay. The deal that Barnabas made was for you to teleport down there, do your business, teleport back. Where did you want to go else?
Well, once I got back, I want to travel to the village where my old master is, Rufus, who trained me, and tell him the job is done and the home is ours. Oh yeah, you have a home. You have a new home, buddy.
I'm gonna
To
let
my
him
master.
go off and do that on his own.
Okay. We'll figure out what you're doing in Baldur's Gate in just a sec. So I would say with the 2 months, you don't actually track him down. You get a number of leads, unless you know where he is.
We agreed he would wait as I was strong enough to leave a village. So he should be in one village, a name of the village
Okay.
I have not written down, but in lore I have.
Okay.
You know?
So you said wait here for 10 years and then I'll be back.
It's been because we've been together. I left him like around the time we all started this whole campaign.
Okay.
started.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I thought he like left you right after. So yeah.
I mean,
No
push
problem.
me out.
You-
And I mean,
So-
even if it were 10 years, he's an elf. 10 years is not that much time to an elf.
Uzo would join you on that journey if you asked him. Uzo would go help you find Rufus.
Let's do this for old time's sake.
But don't
Even
ask
though-
him.
Okay.
So you find
Unless you
Rufus.
really need help.
Are you giving the house to Rufus? Or are you saying he can stay there? Is that who's going to live there?
I will be giving the house to Rufus. That makes way more sense than a timeshare. And I did remember that I always wanted to go back to him and tell him the job was done. So now he gets a home that he may rent out if he wants.
And you're just you make sure to be like, my name's on the deed though.
I can kick you out. I can pay to kick you out whenever I want. Remember that, old man.
Oh,
But I won't.
children.
All right. So you set Rufus up at an estate in Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
where he will be murdered because Baldur's Gate is a terrible place.
You're not
All right. Well, I'll give him a sending stone. Call me if you're dying. Ever. If you're ever dying, call me. I will avenge you next. I feel like I got no direction now.
It's like calling the cops. They're not going to help you, but they'll help figure out what happened.
Ruckus, why
Yeah,
are
this
you
guy's trying to
always milling
5% of the
around?
time at best.
You're always hanging out in the front of the orphanage. Do you want a job? Is there no work for you at the tavern?
I mean, the ghost Leif already has the tavern ready, and everybody else, I don't know. Yeah, let's go fight in front
You're
of some
only
kids.
allowed in if you pull out animals for the children to play with.
I was
Other
already
than
gonna-
that, the tavern is that way.
I was already going to do that, but maybe we should pull the animals out around the corner in case old Axebeak comes out, shining in
That
his
probably
glory.
happened once, and then
In
we
front
have
of the
to
kids.
explain it. Like, oh, yeah.
You had to
Oh.
explain. You had to explain death to Waterdeep orphans. How did that go?
Would that happen? Would we actually pull out the axe beak and it's
No, nothing happens when you pull out the axe beak. Nothing
Oh.
happens.
Yeah. Even
I'm
better.
imagining
It is-
the wrong thing.
It doesn't exist. I mean, the body has been cleaned up and moved and destroyed.
Cool.
All right. So I own that house with that portal in it still, right? Like that, or was
No, that sphere of annihilation is in safekeeping with the cult of Asmodeus.
how did they transport it? I want more answers on that. Actually,
They moved it around. We watched it follow him like a bird on a string.
I know, but I mean, like through the
was
city, like
gross.
someone's getting wiped out.
Barnabas, yeah, thanks to the Baroness. Barnabas is probably investigating a string of people just keep dropping from high places all over Waterdeep. We have no idea what's going on.
There are Griffin Cavalry. If you are up and flying, they are on you quickly.
Good
So
job.
the
Griffin Cavalry
Bat-
is nothing to be fooled around with.
Uzo as Batman dropping people from the sky is not a good plan.
Are you Justice?
No, definitely not. But he probably only makes that mistake once before he's like, I
as-
need to do this. Yeah. He's more likely to dimension door you 500 feet underwater. Yeah, okay. That's probably it.
You would have to go with them then.
Armor of the Octopiers. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You
you-
can't-
That's how he had planned to kill anybody
You have to
on
take
the
that
team
off.
if he needed to.
You have to take that off every day.
drown them.
Until
can't-
Aaron got one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm immortal.
You have to take that off every day, or
I
start
have-
suffering points of exhaustion.
I've got my tank at the inn, but I'm probably gonna have one as well.
New octopus for Uzo.
Yeah.
Oh, and last thing,
Shrine to
still-
Bryn, definitely in remembrance of Bryn, who I keep right here all the time.
sweet Breen.
All right.
Oh,
So
and I steal my leotard back from
yeah. He willingly gives it back as people give him looks. Very quickly, he's like, "Yeah, I need clothes. I need actual real clothes."
Oh God, yeah, we have Kamara.
You have Kamara, half elf warlock.
a naked
All right.
Kamara now.
We get him clothes. You weirdo.
Let's see what's up with Remy over the 2 months after you finish this.
Yeah, so Remy, he's gonna spend some time, of course, with Winifred and with little Remy. talk to them about this trip that Ruckus wants to take out to Baldur's Gate, see if they want to come. Remy originally left his child in the care of Uzo's orphanage as far as schooling goes. So he would spend a lot of time out there, kind of going to class with him, spending time with Uzo, Ruckus, and Andraste at the orphanage. Giving speeches and teaching swashbuckling to the kids, telling stories to them about the exploits of the Foxy Irregulars. And then bug Andraste. Message Clint. Just tell
I do
please.
it once a day, every day around dinner. Every day.
Okay, well, I'll come back in an hour.
I am going to drop kick you out of a window.
He would want to check in with all the irregulars, make sure that, how they're feeling, where we're at, kind of see what next plans are. But for the time being, his whole attitude is, let's take our time here. Let's spend a little time. We do need to kind of leverage the fact that we just killed an archdevil. So how do we best do that? How do we get that word out? How do we capitalize on this feat? How do we grow our legends in such a way that perhaps people will patronize us? I don't know, but
Hey, it's harder too. It's not that hard.
just go to patreon.com.
Last question, chaos.
I mean, we have Squeal, as I heard he was back from tour.
Uzo sees like an irregular tavern poster on the side of the orphanage. He's, goodness, Remy, and he just rips it up. Yeah.
Come on, I paid to have that created. So I start to kind of wheel and deal in Waterdeep with the big names, talk to Barnabas, see if I can get audiences with these great people, tell them of our deeds, tell them what's going on, see if I can get more and more audiences, and of course inviting them always back to the tavern, for drinks, dinner, whatever it is. So come to the tavern, you'll have a great meal. Rachel's the greatest cook / manager that this city has ever seen. So that kind of stuff. Trying to put a lot of his effort into this house, but also by greasing those palms, if you will, he wants to try and leverage the ship he has. So now he's talking to them about, the fact that, well, we have access, we have a hardened crew who's been through so much. You have no idea. They're one of the best crews you'll ever find. And we have access to the Shimmering, a gate that will take us to Port Thoria. So if you need goods moved, we're the ones to do it. So trying to establish some trade routes with them, with the Mucky Mucks, to see if he can expand his business any more than that. Basically, he's just looking to put his time into everything except adventuring, which is gnawing at the back of his head the whole time.
Got a family
So
now,
he's-
man.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that.
So he's having issues with that, struggling with this, remembering his own mentor, Captain Thorne, and how he settled down, and how Remy sees the value in it and is trying it, but is struggling with it. But I think luckily he's got a really good project in the meantime, in the building a life here in Waterdeep. He goes over to Baldur's Gate with Ruckus, where while Ruckus is out and about, he's attempting to track down any followers of Mammon, get any intelligence he can on what their movements are like, what they're doing now that Mammon is dead, if there's going to be any repercussions to the regulars, like how much do they know? So he's trying to figure that out in Baldur's Gate while he's there.
So some of the information that you did gather for that, I can say now, is that everyone who is a Mammon follower, like the priests and everything, they lost their powers for a time until they were called upon by Tiamat. So basically all of the followers of Mammon went over to Tiamat.
So we made the cult of Tiamat stronger. There's no way this could go wrong.
Oh, we're getting this.
We're heroes.
I say with Annika screaming in the back of my head, like, what the fuck did you do?
The court of Haman.
Fuck.
In fact, now that the cult of Tiamat is growing in importance, you hear rumblings from the south down in El Terrell and south of the cult is starting a caravan. They're raiding villages. Sorry, that's the opening to Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I was going to say, are we launched into Horde of the Dragon Queen? It was either Horde of the Dragon Queen or Descent into Avernus.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure which way you were going there.
And the irregulars lived happily ever after, kicking another cult's ass.
So anyway, yeah. So that's what's kind of happened. You also know that they're scattered. It's way less powerful. Their mercantile empire did drop. So a lot of that greasing of palms and getting things together. You start working deals. So much so that you start to think that you probably need a second ship, and like if you're going to be a merchant, this could be a big enterprise that you could be in. If you wanted to focus your attention on that, you could do that.
And then I tell myself, and if I want to go out on the vessel, I can because I own it. So it's still there. But the words always echo in the back of his head. Dread Pirate Remington.
All right.
And that's it, yeah.
So that's the next 2 months. This is not the last we will hear of the Foxy Irregulars.
Which is to say, those people who are yelling for the resolution of Remdraste, let me remind you that Andraste is an elf and has all the time in the world to think about things and will deal with the problem later. She's walled it away, doesn't want to deal with it right now.
And it's one of those things too where you are seeing Remy and his. Did you marry? Are you married? You got married?
No,
yes.
not in those 2 months.
Okay.
If that was to happen, I would want to role play the proposal.
Oh goodness!
But
You may now kiss the Thomas.
No, never.
Come on, Thomas. Let me propose to you.
No, that was me.
Bo, I mean, Remy, you love him.
That was Winifred. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, that's great. Thanks for waiting 5 years for this.
Okay.
So yeah,
Courthouse wedding.
She may well address that at some point, but 2 months is way too soon after everything that we've been through. She's still processing. Get off her back.
And with regard to that, Remy wants the chance to woo Winifred again.
Nice.
Take it slow.
We'll do that off camera. All right.
Nah, just get Kelly.
It'll be
Boy, if you don't like this, the next season is going to be very disappointing for you.
Better yet, the chat has it right. Get Kelly in to come play Winifred.
Yeah.
No. You got this is a regular Tuesday.
This is me
you
and
gotta
Thomas.
Can we have a one shot with just Bo and Thomas for this?
Yes.
So before we get too far off, I want to some of the other NPCs that we've encountered. So we have Alacrity has not been seen for a while. She obviously went off into the giant war, the War of the Giants. Did well, songs were written about her. Steadfast, nowhere to be found. He seems to have vanished. Andraste or Tiana mentioned that there was that Squeal came back. In fact, the new bard at the tavern is not Squeal.
There's another goblin bard?
No. It's actually a dragonborn.
Cool.
However, the bard does sing of the exploits of Squeal and his band of merry men.
Of course.
Yeah,
Where-
I squashed that out immediately. Just kidding.
So much like Squeal sang of your exploits, he is off adventuring. So he went on tour as a bard, and on his tours he ran into places and people that needed help. So he got a band together, or a group of adventurers, and he's out there adventuring.
A band of bards.
Yes. And they are out there adventuring, solving problems, helping people, and creating a name for their own group.
Which is not better than Ezra. Which is
No,
Um,
it's better than Ezra.
Yes,
better than Ezra. Yeah.
Okay. Did I plan on this to go 100 episodes? I don't remember.
Could
we
have.
planned on doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and it was, as we were about halfway through that, I'm like, the backstories of these characters are so interesting that we can't just end after 20 episodes. Like,
Well, we weren't going to end, if I remember right. We were going to go into Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
that's right. We were going to go into Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Because that directly follows Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
That's
So we
right.
were going to go into that. I'm grateful that we didn't, because Andraste would have been on edge and snappy all of the time that she was underground.
So Dungeon of the Mad Mage, while it says it takes you from level 6 to 16 or whatever, it's not really a linear story, like do this, then do that. It's more of like, hey, here's a level that you can go and do, and
Sure.
it just wasn't
It's probably
complete
good for those
solid.
campaigns where you just have the type of people who just want to fight things and
Yeah.
whatnot. Probably really good for that.
Which
I mean,
is
I could-
not us.
I could see it being fun if you were like, if you had a good tie-in, or you started a campaign and your goal was to figure out what Alistair or whatever the Mad Mage is called, I forget, what he's up to, right? That wasn't this campaign. There was far better things to do. I was just kind of going down the list. If anything jumps out at you, go ahead and... Oh, why do I call it Mammon rather than Mammon? I have no idea.
We all know
Really?
from playing Pandemic with this man that he cannot pronounce names.
I
We
thought
just-
that
I
was
like Maman.
intentional.
I like Mammon.
I believe
I
Maman this whole time.
I like Mammon better, but it is pronounced
Yeah.
Mammon because it's a biblical thing or whatever. I don't know.
Does Bunny stay on the boat, or does he sort of is that his home now? He just goes
Well, I
wherever the
mean-
boat goes
He
Well,
has to be on the boat
for
to
the
get
next
back
2
to
months.
Waterdeep.
for the next 2 months. But does he sort of try to exist among people, or is water life, sea life, his heart?
I couldn't say. I think Bunny's gotten he's made a lot of friends. He's definitely moved up from A, being in the Bugbear tribe, B, being in a criminal organization as an enforcer, to being a respected crew member, and really sort of tight family member. I think that he's if anything, he'd be wanting to do some more adventuring, maybe get out into the forests and into some of the other terrain other than the sea.
Oh,
I
cool.
think he probably would be done when you came back.
He would still have to deal with sort of like the dark elf prejudices, right?
Yeah.
For people who didn't know him.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But thinking 2 months forward, when he gets back to Waterdeep, Andraste would take him to the Emerald Enclave and introduce him and be like, this person has stood with me and he wants to help protect the land. I vouch for him personally.
He would probably take you up on that.
And she would absolutely do that because, I mean, they've been through fire and hell together. She's not letting him down.
Yeah, Uzo would kind of do the same, just to show the kids like, hey, we're all the same, but also like, this is a bugbear. don't run from it. Like this is a sentient being, even though he's sturdy and he punches him in the arm. You see?
Embrace our differences. We are all different.
But don't punch every bugbear that you don't know.
I would also at some point, I would, before we go on, I would talk to the Foxy regulars. Once it becomes a little too much for Remy, he would try and sit them down and be like, there is one person that I still have a score to settle with. And I would take out the bloody short sword that took me out on the roof. There's a pirate out there who deserves another greeting from us. We ate at his table, in fact. You remember? He came to us as Zard.
Oh, that was when I was in the high forest getting my cousins.
Do you remember Zarda?
I don't remember this. I wasn't here for this.
It was a lot of flesh and hair.
I'm very glad I don't remember this.
Uzo basically he lets you talk, and he's used to these periodical swing bys. And it's like, Remy, being a husband is not that hard. Stay home with your wife and your child. You don't miss the sea that much.
Yeah, but he's like a pirate, and he tried to kill us. Well, he didn't, but you know, one of his pirates tried to kill us, and so
next week you're going to be back in here asking me to set up a duel between you and Ruckus. No, put the sword away.
Okay. After the duel, then we'll talk about it.
We're already scheduling it.
They haven't discussed
an event,
and I'm going to be nearby to make sure that no one actually dies.
We're having it at the tavern, so it'll be great. We'll be the new Smash Brothers, huh?
Yes. I would love to be smashed, brother.
I'll drink to that.
Never mind.
Yes. Let it linger.
Nope.
You know, if you are in the mood for some adventuring, there are several levels beneath the orphanage that I've just walled off. I've said, stay away, don't go down there. But aside from sending Ruckus down there with a broom every so often, it would be nice to have some assurances that something won't creep up during the evening.
Yeah, I don't think a broom is apt to stop it. Whatever's
so,
down there.
Ruckus and his broom, you send down there, and you want me instead to go down there and take a look. I feel like this is a wild goose chase. You're just trying to keep me busy.
It's a snipe hunt. Haven't you ever heard of a snipe hunt?
I just figure if something is going to bite someone, Ruckus is the most resilient among us.
I would love to see our Cappy turn into something, Ian. Some
No. What?
Monkey.
I have the ability to undo that if that became necessary on my own without a necklace.
Oh, so I can go ahead and rat it up.
It's very fashionable this season. And you know, if you really, really wanted to seek your vengeance, coming from a person who really does know vengeance, maybe you could make it like a bachelor thing, you know? Get married to the mother, and then just have a bachelor where you go out and hunt him and kill him.
You know she has a name. You know she has a name, right?
I remember neither of their names, neither the person he's trying to kill or his wife. Maybe Remy Jr. What's his kid's name?
So Winifred.
There we go.
Anyhow.
Why do I stick around with you lot?
I'm telling you, he's one of the baddest pirates out there, though, guys. Like, I mean, if we kill Jarl Axel, come on. We could easily do it. We killed an archdevil. Come on.
I want to fight Asmodeus.
My fighting days are only as necessary now.
I don't. If you're actually going to go after Jarl Axel, I'm not going to let you go do that by yourself.
On vote. We can talk about it later.
Preferably after we get our own ship under us again, yes.
Once we each get our own ship.
An adventure against Jarl Axel would be quite the adventure.
If this Jarl Axel character wants a fight, all he has to do is come to the orphanage and knock on the door. I will not go searching for him.
Oh, come on. It's got to be ship to ship. We have to beat him at his own game. I mean, We have to beat him at his own game. I said it correctly first.
There you
Can we
go.
attack him on land, or does it have to be ship to ship?
And you do know that he has an armada of 3 ships.
So
I
we're
hear-
going to have to go ship to ship to ship.
So
I hear he
4
has a
ships.
fleet, Remy.
Well, I'm actually in the business of expanding ours as well.
Yes.
Is this, have you come to ask me for a loan? Because that's not going to end well.
Maybe. We'll talk about it later, you know. By the way, maybe after in a bit, let's have some drinks first, and then we'll talk about it.
That's a good idea. I trust that. I totally.
Sure.
I trust that trait of logic. Drink and then make an important financial decision and life-threatening decision. Perfect. I think it lines up.
So I just wanted to kind of put that out there into the world that's canon, that Remy is wanting to take down the big dog pirate.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jarlaxle is a hell of a fight. That could be very interesting.
Ruckus was sarcastic, but he still drinks.
Nice. Seth points out, how many tavern rolls have we missed?
All of
And
them.
The tavern
the shopping
is doing well and self-sustaining, and turning a hefty profit. I don't think we need to make rolls anymore.
Nice.
Well, and especially now that 12th level adventurers are living there again. Like we're
Yeah.
not slouches.
And you know,
so
just
and then
wait.
Tamago Dora with 500 bits to Thomas, because it's never too late for a TPK.
Thomas, don't you even
And
think
he's
about
right.
it.
Thank
Just
you,
at the end of
Tony.
this, I just say rocks fall, you all die.
Can I just die? Can I die in a toilet?
Thank you, Tamago Dora. All right. I'm looking for some questions. Here we go. This is good though. Spike asks, what failure does the group regret or dwell on most? Is it that Jarlaxle that you didn't get to face him? Or is it that you let Ruckus die and you kept driving the boat away?
That I do have a problem with that. Yeah.
Are we talking about as a player or as a character?
That's a good question.
Either one. Either
As a
one.
team.
As a character, not so much the driving the boat away with Ruckus, because there was little that she could do about that, and she didn't realize that he hadn't stuck his feet on the side of the ship, you idiot, or grabbed a rope. Or grabbed a rope. There's ropes that he could have grabbed and did not.
Very thinking about it.
The biggest failure that she dwells on is not being able to cast Revivify, and she knows why. She knows how it all happened, and she still, wakes up in the night from the memory of that.
Is that because you did not have it yet?
I
You're
had
not
it.
powerful enough?
No, I had it. And Donovan was kind enough to do Gentle Repose, so I was able to cast it, but it was not successful.
Mm.
And she knows exactly why now, but that haunts her, where it was like, I cast this spell. I tried to bring him back, and he refused. And I don't know why. I know why, but also that was a failure. And I mean, she still has little scars on her hands from tearing the fuck out of her room.
Remy doesn't regret that at all. He was thinking about the whole ship, the crew, everyone, and he was trusting Ruckus to be able to handle it. So it was one of those things. He had to make the hard call, and he doesn't regret making the hard call, but maybe he regrets having been put in the situation where he had to.
But you adjusted. I mean, you.
But you got through it.
But everybody went in after Ruckus.
Yeah.
Including
Well,
Remy.
That could, yeah. Somebody had to keep driving the ship.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Anyone else grab some questions? Let's see here. Will there be an Alacrity storyline? There might.
Oh my shit.
There might.
If there is, I am going to insist that after killing an archdevil, we leveled at least once.
Maybe we all have
Because
to
that's
fight
only
Alacrity.
fair.
Alacrity's level 20 right now, so
Easily take all of 4 of us at once.
Okay.
Easily.
Sure. Sure.
Force kick to the teeth, laser beam to the other end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ally with steadfast in the resistance.
On Facebook, somebody asked what they thought of playing a Centaur Rogue, and I was like, we've got an awakened horse rogue in our campaign. It's a serious campaign.
So serious. You
Just
know
get
their
a heavy
intelligence doesn't
flop.
get above 10, right?
Eh,
Didn't say wizards.
they don't investigate.
They gnaw on fences and inhale. Horses do that. That's a fun fact.
Yes. What else is happening in here?
Everything. So many things.
I saw
Yes.
one really early on that was like, what's each of yours, question to all, favorite moment from the past 2 years?
Ooh.
That's a thinker.
I think Bo froze.
He did.
And
Sorry.
The question was that
So-
good.
Honestly, to me, it's my favorite moment and one thing that I wish that I had done better. I loved the way that Uzo and Remy met in that first episode. I wish that I had done a better job introducing Ruckus and Andraste together.
Are you serious? Ruckus sitting down next to her and stealing her food is a perfect way to be. That really set the tone.
Establishes how selfish I am and how easygoing and perfect Andraste was. It was perfect.
More to the point, she was like, I have slightly more food that I might actually eat, and you look hungry. Go ahead.
What about you guys? Favorite moment?
Where Remy has got to be one of my favorites, being able to turn into that were-rat and what happened afterwards and that moment. I really liked that, and I got to say, just me personally, that was probably one of my favorite moments. For the whole crew, it's got to be that whole kind of arc in Dragon Heist. We're trying to, we're trying to get into what was their place? I forget. It's basically that whole run up to that point where Uzo drops the lady off the roof. I think Ruckus,
the fucking windmill.
Yeah, I think Ruckus eventually stabbed a man in the streets. Us having to kind of get through that and out of it and locate the stone. I just really enjoyed that little run up and kind of the hijinks that happened. What we learned about, in the moments, I thought was really cool.
If I could do something again, I might. I don't know, but I just felt like Uzo's reunion with Medusa was a little anticlimactic. But I know that we were still kind of sussing out what that interaction would be and look like. I will. So that's what I would sort of revisit. What I loved the most, two parts, highs and lows. The high of being on the ship, and the high of discovery in general, but one specific moment of actually, sorry, I'm gonna go on a tangent now. So just the world being brand new to Uzo is a lot like this world being brand new to Warren. Standing on the rooftop and seeing these giant structures of Waterdeep, and then being on the ocean and seeing the stars and being like, wow, this is really kind of amazing. In terms of gameplay, I really enjoyed the moment where I broke the captain's wrist and then slit his throat as he screamed. That was very yeah. Yeah. But on the downside, I even though it was a tense moment, I did enjoy mourning the loss of Ruckus because it was so unexpected. I had no idea going into that game that was going to happen, or I'd be calling on those emotions. So when it did come out, it was pretty genuine, and I think a lot of actors try to strive for that moment to just have it hit so innately. Was great to know that I was capable of it, but at the same time, it was a really heavy moment because I did feel a friendship with Ruckus. Uzo did feel a friendship with Ruckus, and like there's just a lot going on at that point. So Warren and Uzo were kind of digesting a lot with like, you didn't turn around. Like I know you're infatuated with the halfling, but like your friend is drowning. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? All right, I got to do it. Like, and jumping in and sort of going after it. And then the futile effort of like, here's someone that I can't help. Uzo has seen death or experience with death on the streets of Waterdeep, but this is sort of like the first real one that has affected him. So that whole moment was great, but it was like a bad moment to be great, if that makes any sense.
It was intense.
Aaron, what's a memorable moment? What stands out to you as being?
There was a lot of good ones. In my mind, I'm trying to pick exactly just one. So I really love the fight between Remy and Ruckus because of how on edge everyone else was because of it. That was really fun for me. And yeah, win or lose, that was great. I'm going to answer a question from earlier. In terms of the regret thing, I now realize what my regret answer is. I wish I did double like my second attack on that one. Could have, or action surge or something. There was something I could have done that would have done more damage on the final run and ended it. But then I was like, yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got. So then I died. But I don't regret jumping in front of a boulder. I don't regret wanting to fight Asmodeus as I was in that death coma dream state or room, conversation with him. But I also really like the ending to the first arc where we actually got it was Andraste's goddess.
So the second arc, technically.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
The first homebrew arc, though.
Not good with numbers. You got to remember that.
No, I know. I've done enough math for you over the last 2 years to know this.
You got my back. But yeah, I really love the part where they kind of broke it was the jewel or something that was specific.
The emerald.
The emerald, and that just kind of shockwave that hit the rest of us. I really liked it. It felt like a great conclusion, and it went out. It was a really strong arc. All of them have been great, but that one just, for some reason, that moment was like, oh, sick. All right. Nice. We got a goddesses to crush shit for us.
Yeah.
And say we did a good job.
Going on to that absolutely was my favorite thing that I created in the whole thing. It was the most cohesive and
it was really good.
It was. That final fight was with the Blitch. Yeah, it was great.
And we got to do it at Dundracon too, right?
Yeah, that was a great. Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I was, looking at that, I'm like, I wish they were all that good. Especially Uzo, yours being the last one, and us being fully remote, and you not having that moment. I think if we were around the table, that moment would have been different and more impactful. And I think that's so. In crafting stories and whatnot, I'm looking at what are those beats and what are those things from that forest arc that worked, that really kind of set it apart.
The things that, if you want my opinion on that, because I have opinions. Mm-hmm. I always have opinions. The three things that I remember that really stand out about the forest arc was going into the blighted forest and realizing that it was trying to actively kill us. And we had to be smart in figuring out how to deal with the environmental issues. Going into Andraste's village, I still think you had a missed opportunity to really fuck with Andraste in that one. But on the whole, it was really good.
Yeah, come on, Thomas. This is the serious show.
Yeah.
And the shrooms in the forest.
Yeah.
That was much later.
Good. That was awesome.
I just like that.
I mean, just to touch on that, I think being able to stop it actively happening right now in the village was a chance for you to save it before, and so that I would do it again. I would do it again.
That's fair. And when you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Saving my family from being turned into zombie hordes versus having to fight my family as a zombie horde, which would have absolutely shattered Andraste. And then, of course, everything going into the mountain. Fucking interpretive dance when Grumble forgot that he spoke fucking giant. Andrew!
So good. So good.
I was just like, read your character sheet. Anyway, but that whole sequence of the mountain and the building up to it, and then the green room with all of the plants growing in there and everything that was happening, and then Lyra giving her blessing and being like, okay, this is how you end this. So that whole, from like the beginning of the mountain all the way through, was a really great like rising arc to it, to the final fight. I thought that was really well done. And I mean, everything in between was fun, but it also, it was a slog sometimes, because that's just the way it goes.
I'm going to jump to Bomb Clancy. How much of your in real life personality is in your character? And I just want to shout out that somebody watched the first episode yesterday. That's Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Crime and Punishment. And
Wow.
in that, they commented on YouTube, I don't know where Aaron ends and Ruckus begins. Now it's like 2 years later, we don't either, but we love them
still
both.
don't.
We are one.
So
We are Ruckus.
so what are those in Uzo, are you just really hoping to drop people out of buildings?
Certain people.
No, is Warren wanting to drop people out of buildings?
Certain people, yeah, absolutely. That in terms of the inner workings of Uzo and Warren, they're pretty much one and the same, which made decision making really, really easy. It wasn't this like, well, like I'm gonna do something really stupid, and that's what my character would do. Ruckus. There was none of that deliberation. But in terms of how we see the world, 100%. And I think I mentioned it before that like Uzo is, so now that Uzo has means, he's probably a lot more like Warren. But before, Uzo was Warren if Warren said YOLO and yeeted everything and then like had nothing to lose. Yeah, absolutely. Just a different version of Warren. So yeah, I think they're one and the same. A lot of the to pull on those cues, a lot of the characters are inspired by people in my real life, right? So I kept it really close, and that's just something that I do, whether it's creating a character for video game or a character for tabletop. Even there's some of Warren and Dalid as well. But yeah, definitely a lot more. The Venn diagram is about
Almost a perfect circle.
It's about 75% gray between Warren and Uzo.
Yeah, the outside of one says like murdering people.
And that's the
And
Warren.
the Uzo.
The outside of one is like the restraint required to not murder people daily.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what that is. Yeah.
That's fine. Well, and there's something to that, isn't there? When I was going through my degree back in UAF, my theater degree, one of the books that I had to read was An Actor Prepares by Anton Stanislavski, who was the creator of the method that everyone pulls from. And one of the things that he said was, I mean, this is translated, of course, but basically, of course, you create a character out of your own soul. Where else would you get one? And drawing from that, this that we are ending was the second campaign that I was ever in. Prior to this, I had been in a 7-month campaign with my housemates when I lived back in Hercules. And so when I was creating Andraste, I didn't know a lot about her. I knew that what I knew about her was that she was me in my 20s. She was fresh out of, living in an isolated community, didn't know a whole lot, but was very earnest and very sure of herself, and was a Hufflepuff and would, go to the mat for those that she considered to be hers. And that was all that I really knew about her. But as she expanded, I was like, yeah, no, this is me when I was in my early 20s, if I had magic. That's literally the only difference, is that she's more devout than I was in my 20s, which is that's not hard to do. And she has magic, so she can actually do the things that I wish I could do. but she was still young and naive and went and fell in love with someone that she couldn't have. And there was a lot of the things that I went through in my 20s that I processed by playing Andraste. So, good job, Thomas. You've been a therapist for the last 2 years. How you doing?
That's D&D for you, for
Yeah.
sure. Can be very cathartic.
It can be. And I mean, all of my characters are aspects of myself, but Andraste is definitely me when I was younger.
Nice. I put a lot of myself in Remy. I do. I make him an exaggerated form of the kind of pretentious I am, but I do put that in. I write poetry, so I really wanted to have that in. A lot of his anxiety that he has over what's going on, I put that into it as well, as I've been a long time sufferer of that kind of thing. So it's something I really wanted to be able to express through Remy. And definitely he's a bit more of an ass than I am. He's like, one of the things I like about playing these kind of characters, chaotic or even like on an evil campaign, is you can just let go and have fun with that kind of stuff that you can't do in real life. So you get to explore some of that. So I got to take this character and make him a bit of an ass that I really enjoyed. And I really hope that everyone's not being like, yep, no difference whatsoever.
Oh, I better delete that. Shit.
Just because I'm curious, what were your guys' alignments?
So Remy has always been kind of straddling this line between neutral, like true neutral, and neutral good, like this kind of straddling. So he kind of goes over to the neutral good most of the time, but when it comes down to like if it's Remy or somebody else, it's Remy. Like he's gonna do that true neutral thing. So
Uzo's more. I mean, I've tried to keep it very neutral in the decision making, but it's definitely more chaotic neutral, edging towards chaotic good, right? Like
That was not where I thought you were going with that alignment comment.
well, mostly because of his relationship with Baga at the very end, right? Like to be considered a paladin by Behemoth, even in light of the things that I've done to get here. Are you serious? Like I'm all about divvying out justice. So like, yeah, let's like more of a Rorschach justice than a Superman justice for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely is going back more to his neutral as the adventure ends, because he is like, I'll even the scales back out if the scales get tipped one way or the other, meaning you wrong someone or something in my direction, but I'm not gonna like go out adventuring. He stole, but like he stole for his survival, right? Like it's not all black and white.
I think chaotic neutral for me. Yeah, chaotic neutral for me, because I never went full. I think if I go full evil, then it's just I'm not even on the same team as you guys. I probably would have been a completely different path. So I would say chaotic neutral. I wouldn't say chaotic good. I was pretty selfish as Ruckus. That line, I'd say I'm way more, definitely more serious in my work, like in my day job. But if I were in a time like D&D times, the ye old times, I'd probably be that asshole, that a-hole who's like, listen, I'm fine. Sometimes you get used to war. Sometimes you don't. Let's go kill something. But hiding a very troubled past behind him. I don't think. Yeah, it's a thin line. It's a thin line, at least with my humor with Ruckus, because I like to play him as not as if he completely knows it's a game, but he just treats life as a game. Like he just doesn't care at this point. He does have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I like doing that. I like having fun with that, imaginary world. So that way I can really just, mess around, and people are like, this is a really dark situation. What are you doing? And it's just like, that's how I cope. And then, jumps right into the jaws of death or something. Or a boulder.
How much of Aaron is in Ruckus?
60%? 70?
So it's
I'm not
like
upping it.
it's like Uzo and Warren.
I'm very awkward in my day-to-day, so that's why I'm probably not this.
Confident.
Yeah, I'm not like this confident to be an a-hole at my work constantly. So that's why I like doing it as Ruckus. It's like really like, oh, really? We think that's okay. Like whatever, we'll go with it. But at work, it's just like, oh, you want this? You got it. You got it, sir. You name it, and I am here. It's drastically different.
I will say, going back to like the favorite moments thing, probably my favorite, not moment, but arc was the relationship that grew between Andraste and Rakos.
That was fun. I like that a lot. I
really loved that.
Drawing back to it.
Yeah, and like the two moments that really stand out for me were Ruckus coming to Andraste's room with a spider climbing slippers, and her just like already distraught and not okay, and then the two of them just up until dawn talking about the people that they had lost. That was amazing to me. And then him coming after her after she had a complete PTSD breakdown moment.
Yeah,
like
how that played out.
I would sort of add that Uzo does spend a lot of time contemplating his desire to follow the adventure that would inevitably bring about the end of all existence. And he's like, I can't believe, like, how is that jaded to like want to end all this, right? With the glean of the positive moments. So in his mid-30s, Warren would probably still Thanos snap Earth away. But Uzo has gone past that, has evolved a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Honestly,
So just,
I mean, sorry, Thomas.
oh no, go ahead.
Honestly, we talk about story moments all the time, but really what kept standing out for me was the relationships between these characters and how we all played off of each other and how we grew and interacted with each other. And it's meant the world to me over the last 2.25 years. You guys have become a family of mine.
Absolutely.
And not just, between us, the players, because that's going to continue onward forever, but but between the characters and how they went over the space of a couple of months from strangers who are working toward a lot of money to, I will literally die for you. And have.
So I reached out just in the chat. What are your favorite moments? So Clarel kind of points out that the episode that Ruckus died, he died because we changed the inspiration mechanic.
Yep.
To not allow natural ones to be rerolled. And that's, as a channel, we're trying to figure out how to keep doing this and making it and keep affording the rent here. We would love to get to the point where, Wizard of the Coast says, here's a bunch of money, you go do that. Or other companies with their, their RPG systems. But so trying to change those mechanics and make it so the game isn't broken. Having those real, I think since we did that, there's a lot more
danger.
There's a lot more at stake. And now that we've switched over to the deck of inspiration, there's even more at stake because the just usual advantage anytime is gone. And that's, so trying to rebalance D&D while also having these moments where, we can thank the patrons for, being patrons and helping us out, giving us bits and subscribing.
I think Clarel asked the question previously too. I hope it was whoever, please surface it, but it was like, how far would you guys have gotten without inspiration? I'm like, we probably wouldn't have made it out of the Blight Forest. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this adventure would have ended at episode 20.
But the god would have died in the
Okay,
Blight Forest at least once.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Concur fully.
No.
Also, how much did each of you plan for your death? Because I planned for my death.
No.
Rufus was going to take my spot. That's it.
There was a certain there at some point, like Warren didn't really care. Well, I'm telling myself in the fucking fourth person now.
Look at you.
Uzo didn't really like if he, life was kind of fickle, so like he didn't really care if you passed it. There was some point where it turned. It was probably like around the Remy cycle where like I'm invested in this story and these people. Like I falling or anyone falling would really be disturbing to me. So yeah, it had up until that point, it's like, all right, I guess I got to roll up another character, whatever. All right, Andraste, bye. You remember that Andraste person? That she was fun. Let's hope this new person can carry their weight better, right? Like that's where he was. That's where he was mentally. But yeah, as you spend more time with these people, you're just like, wait a second, no, like I don't want to go into this dark room, but if they're going in, I'm going in too.
Well, and to that,
Stays at the back of the room.
to that point, I don't, with the exception of Call of Cthulhu, where I do have a backup character ready to go, I don't plan for the characters to die. That said, Andraste was low-key suicidal ideation all of the time. Like from minute one, because 5 years ago, everyone that she knew had died. And for the last 5 years, every minute was something that she shouldn't have gotten. So she's like, if I fall keeping these little idiots from dying, it's worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely feel that sort of like disconnect of like not really being entrenched in the group, because like Uzo would just be like, why am I tethered to these fucking idiots if they're gonna shoot off guns at point blank range next to my ear, or like blind me again or something like that. So he'd be like, I'm done. I'm absolving my hands of these people. They're going to get me killed. I've been able to survive blindly up until this point without them. Like, I'm going to take my chances.
Well, it was honestly clearly the opposite direction for Andraste. It was so important for her that they survive that she was willing to give up everything. And for an elf, she has another 700 years in front of her. She'll watch all of your great grandchildren die.
Grim.
Yes. That is the problem with being a long-lived race, is that you see, unless you only surround yourself with elves, you will watch generations die. Sorry.
You probably won't have that problem with Uzo. While he has accepted the world as it is, he probably doesn't want to condemn somebody else by existence.
I don't know if I see Ruckus having kids either.
No, but also that's me and Ruckus. No. But I also really want Remdraste to now come to fruition, only because even in a fanfic, because think of that kid outliving Cap and Remy. That's some good drama. That's some meaty emotional stuff right there. Outliving
your father.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I guess, okay. Well, if it has happened, hearts go out to you. But also, to think of it as half elven, outgrowing, like eternally youthful kind of thing. It's very compelling.
Half elves live about as long as humans.
All right. Well, that's out the window.
Someone
interrupt me.
A little bit longer.
What's the lifespan of a halfling?
That's a good question. I think it's a little longer, but not much.
So Remy is in
2
his
years.
40s, if I remember right.
Yeah, 45.
Shit,
It's like the life of a chihuahua.
What you were looking at a recurring dream. If your character could change one thing about them, what would it be?
20 years.
Sorry.
I would change. Honestly, Ruckus just doesn't like that he's not strong enough, so he would just keep training. I mean, well, now he has no reason to fully train.
Yeah, just Ruckus and Brandon all day on the beach.
Leg days.
You training? I'm training. You training?
Dragon's Beach. Dragon's Gym.
I would say
leotard.
that's been a big motivator for Remy as well, getting more powerful. I think throughout the whole arc, why he wanted magic. All of his friends were doing magic and stuff like that. So I think that's important to Remy as well. So I like that Remy and Ruckus have that.
I would like us to that would be some of the time just training. Like, you know, I'm not trying to turn this into Dragon Ball Super, but we're just training all the time.
Because Uzo isn't like properly reading, the letters and the words are coming out and forming little animations. He's just like absorbing everything he can. So he's less in the gym and more like, can I do that spell? I mean, yeah. What would he change about himself? I think there's a natural hesitancy to any newcomers to the town, to the tavern, to the orphanage, and he just kind of keeps them at arm's distance until he can plan for it. I think he would like to be more generally accepting of most people. Not to, yeah, he would want to tip the balance towards like you're not an enemy as opposed to like you're not yet a friend.
Nice.
I have a question from a game perspective, maybe a player and PC. So there were a few times where I, as the DM, came to you and changed your story. With Remy coming in and saying, Winifred is here and you have a child. Like, I didn't warn you ahead of time. And
No,
that
not
worked
at all.
out.
I loved it. That was the biggest surprise for Remy. I saw somebody ask about what was your biggest surprise, and it was absolutely little Remy for sure.
I'm genuinely amazed that you didn't see little Remy come in. As soon as I heard Winifred was there, I was like, "There's a kid somewhere."
Oh no, I
didn't
think it at all.
That is such a trope that I saw it coming immediately and was like, "There's a kid somewhere. Where is it?"
I didn't think he would throw that on you without you knowing, so I had no idea either. I was like, "What?" Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
I think, yeah, absolutely. I mean that's a fine line, between wanting to surprise and delight, and surprise and oh God, this isn't what I signed up for. I mean, early on, Uzo, you developed this character and you did this whole backstory of Uzo being blind, and like the third episode, I'm like, if you want eyes, you can have them.
I think, well, you kind of gave him to me without like, yeah. I think you were tired of me feeling my way around the city and stuff, and you didn't want to have to account for that. That's what I thought, because you were like, nope, here's eyes, grown against your will, like holy shit. But just with the Medusa sort of arc, I know we had a lot of back and forth because I was planning that backstory interaction at the orphanage from a young age under the impression, even Baga slithering up to me, under the fact that Dendar was the eventual patron, and not so much playing out as Uzo being the ultimate villain, but maybe sort of having to choose between his friends and Medusa, the name even inspired by Medusa, right? So that's where that came from, and that's sort of how I envisioned it playing out, because I thought, I know we had this back and forth. I don't want Dendar. I want to give you Dendar, like, playing that. So that's, I had a hard time adjusting to that because I had entrenched my character in that thought process. But I do like the way it turned out and played out. So I have no problems there, but it taught me a little bit more with my own campaigns of like making sure I'm on the same page with the players, and also that like we understand how this is going to develop, like while still keeping some mystery, you know.
Yeah.
We just got rated too. What's up, Lark?
Hey.
Network? Thanks
Oh, hey guys, welcome.
for joining us, yo.
Where's the
I
raid
got
shades?
one.
Raid shades.
Oh yeah.
That's not a thing. That's not a
Yes,
thing.
yeah,
You can't do
you
that
say
now.
because you don't have raid shades.
We're doing a Q&A wrap up of a 2-year session at
Let's
this
see if I can
point.
get mine.
You sprint, man. Sprint, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody
raid
pause the
shades.
stream.
I got raid shades, all right.
Okay, those are thick raid shades, but I will count them.
So yeah.
No, keep them. Or at least on
So
your forehead.
looking
Hi,
at so
hi.
one of the, hey everyone, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. We are doing a
Raid
recap
shades.
episode because we have finished campaign 1 of our Chaos Agents campaign. It started off as Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and morphed into the backstories and the solving people's mysteries and their backstories and everyone's tragic backstory. If you want to catch up on everything, it's all over on our YouTube channel or on podcasts. Everything we do is on YouTube, podcast, live on Twitch. So you don't have to stop watching the Lark Network to enjoy our content. You just watch it, at another time.
There you go.
Um,
I did not find my raid shades, by the way, but I did
Same.
find a bottle
That's
opener.
because it's
so-
not a thing.
Use a bottle opener.
Bottle
I'm
opener,
sorry.
good call.
Find a
And what's on
bottle
my
opener.
face then?
We've never done that before.
So
Don't
we're
let them
talking about
fool
some of our favorite moments from the campaign, and one of them stands out so it was the forest arc for Andraste, where They were wondering why orcs were rampaging across the farmland, and they had gotten to a tent that was basically what was that? Mom Clancy, thank you for the gift subs to our people. We appreciate that, to our new raid friends.
Thank you.
And they came upon this basically military encampment. There was a big tent, and there was some movement inside, and they went and they investigated. We had a special guest, Andrew from Inspiration Point podcast and North Games. What?
Nothing. Just
Nope.
ignore the chat. It's a chat thing. I'm stupid.
You
It's the
can't
raid shades.
because of the raid
shades. The raid shades hindered my ability to spell words.
Okay.
the dangers.
Anyway, so there were two ogres inside, which would have been a great encounter for these guys to either fight inside this tent between these two ogres or around the fire. And
I wanted to
Grumble-
kill him so bad, Thomas.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill him so bad.
We're just like holding that gun, going.
Yeah, I bonded my gun to my left hand and I never used it. I made a moment of it to bond it and just never.
After unbinding the butter knife.
Oh, the butter
Yeah,
knife.
right?
Slight tangent. That whole very early on. You should watch the first 20 episodes. It gets you through the Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It's so good. Ruckus going against doors, trying to kick them open. Could not do it. Like
that one.
Yeah.
That one.
It was an anomaly.
So he nat ones on a door, takes damage to his leg, fails every door he tries to kick down. They're going up against some were-rats. They go to the store to buy silvered weapons. He's cheap, and the only thing cheap enough he can buy is a butter knife that is made of silver. He goes to kick in this door at the Halfling Tavern, and nat 20's it, killing two innocent-ish halflings.
We found out they weren't innocent.
That was rough on Andraste though, because she was like, "Are you serious?"
See, it worked out in the end. They weren't innocent.
We never did get our 4-pull butter knife though.
Yeah. And then just with the nat 20 of plunging the butter knife into the last were-rat's chest.
It
so
is
good.
silverware.
Yeah. More bludgeoning damage than anything, but
More than my flamber.
and then oh my god. And this is probably my favorite moment from chat as well. In that moment, jumping back to the ogres, Grumble befriends them, and they asked to cook some orcs, and
They did
the
not
chat
ask.
came up with 189 different titles for orc recipes.
No, Thomas.
It was Forrest Gump.
Thomas, you're telling it wrong, dear.
Life is like a box of orc recipes.
They came out carrying one of the orc bodies because Grumble was basically like, "The bodies are yours, have fun," and they dropped it on the fire and said, "Cook." And we're over here like, that's not how that works. And Remy, what did you say?
Well, I mean, Andraste was cooking for us recently, so it was
Because she's the one with a +7 to survival at that point, so she was camp mom.
It was there was just a little silence when they said cook, and it was just like, Andraste, cook.
Exactly like that. And then I rolled a bloody goddamned nat 20 on cooking those fucking orc bodies.
Oh, they were so
Thomas
good.
had to take away from me with a Nord Games card, but it was still a nat 20.
Good times.
Yeah.
I would like to say having Grumble on was really, really fun. Really enjoyed.
He definitely made us think about things in a different way.
Oh yeah, and he
I
definitely changed the game as well. You know, awakening, steadfast, and alacrity.
As well as
Lasting
his,
effects.
was his grandma as well.
That's right.
And-
Meg came on.
Granny
She did great.
Grumble
Oh yeah,
with our own Megan.
that was awesome.
And,
Both of them were OP.
Mhm.
Janine's character, who eventually gave us the map to
Trace.
Trace and
right.
Stace to get to where we needed to go.
Oh my gosh, that was my one shot moment. You know, hey Janine, can you come in for 2 episodes or 3 episodes and do this arc? And her character left like 20 episodes later.
Yep.
That was fun.
she went off. Trace is probably still out there in because she went to Patakatifu.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
We got a connection out there.
Shit.
So yeah. Campaign 2, which will be set in Darylin, Port Thoria. It's pretty close, so you never know if there will be some connection there.
Well, and didn't you say? I mean, spoiler a little, I guess. Campaign 2, it is not immediately after Campaign 1, is it?
So we're gonna take a break.
Well, no, I mean as far as in-game time.
Chronologically.
In game time, it is. I don't know exactly when. It's gonna be separate. It's a different timeline. It runs concurrently with the Guild of the 5e. So if you are a patron, you get to play in that.
Nice.
And so things that happen in Guild of the 5es will have effects and sort of be part of Campaign 2. And that's all I want to talk about. That's it for Campaign 2.
Sure.
And Port Thoria.
You are like, I can see yourself physically restraining yourself from talking about all the things you've planned.
Yeah.
Then I have a question I've been dying to get to, or at least I saw it a while back, where I'm assuming it means movie, but what actor would each of you choose to play your character?
That's simple.
That
I'll go on.
fucking question.
Hugo Weaving would play the DM.
Hugo Weaving would kill it, though. He would chew all of that scenery.
So I would go for Remy, a young Peter Dinklage. I did do a little bit of work looking at his work on Game of Thrones for some of the Remy stuff. So I really like that.
I think Dimon Hunsu, the lead character from Amistad, would probably make a pretty good Uzo. What other work has he done? Your Blood Diamond, right? Played opposite Leo. Guardian of the Galaxy, and who? That character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Probably be a pretty good Uzo.
Probably Elliot Page, actually, for Andraste.
I can see that.
Small, kind of the rounder face, does tragedy very well. They just need to wear a red wig, and they're Andraste.
Jim Carrey.
Oh God,
who's skinny, like young Jim Carrey, but skinny, a little lanky, but he can play arrogant so well and also stupid so well.
That's what you see in your head when you see Ruckus?
Arrogant and stupid? Yes.
Jim Carrey?
That is not what I see.
I see, what is the guy from Magic Mike? That from 21 Jump Street.
Tatum?
Really?
Channing Tatum. Yeah, that idiot.
I don't think he's
I
yoked. I thought we've made the joke that he's not yoked.
All right,
he's
next,
pretty wiry under
next
that.
Warren and Aaron movie talk. We're casting this.
Your strength is 23. What the hell are you talking about? He's not yoked.
Because of the belt. I'm like skinny yoked.
And what was your strength before the belt?
Unequip the belt and tell us what your strength is.
Where is that belt? Let me remove raid shades for a moment. And
Take them
it's
off.
20. It's just 20. No,
It's 20. It's just 20. It's
not.
max.
It's
It
max.
is the highest of the any stat can be.
Remember, your
It's
average
The
human
Rock.
is 10.
Yeah, you are the Rock right now.
You are Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger.
wow.
You are
All
Mr.
right.
Universe.
Then
You are super
Henry
young.
Cavill
Oh my
is
God, oh
probably
my God.
Ruckus. Superman.
no, he has no. He
No,
has
no,
never
let's pick
played
an
a
actor.
funny character.
Let's
Yeah,
pick an actor.
that's your actor.
Chris
Henry Cavill.
Pratt.
Oh my God, Bo.
Henry Cavill has never played a charismatic dude. He's never been like, what's going on? I'm an
You've
a-hole.
never seen
He's
Men
just
from
been-
Uncle? He's been.
Ruckus.
That is your
That's like
character.
the-
the Man from Uncle. That is him.
That's like the one I
Ruckus
haven't
is
seen.
not charismatic.
Okay, not charismatic, but I mean, like, I don't know. How would you describe a-hole then? Like, what's not charisma, but
Overly
blunt?
confident dickhead. That doesn't take any
There you go.
stat.
What is
Any
what's
actor in
that?
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's fair.
Loki?
It's fair. I'm
Just
thinking Mickey
personality.
Rourke. I'm thinking Mickey Rourke.
Not Mickey Rourke. Not the wrestler. No.
Jesus, way too old.
That's my Ruckus.
The other Hemsworth then.
Oh,
Not-
not the other.
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
Hemsworth, the Miley
Jake,
Cyrus
you've seen it?
Hemsworth.
Not Chris Hemsworth or the Tom,
Liam.
whatever the younger brother. Yeah, Liam Hemsworth.
He's
The
cute.
not Chris one. Yeah, he's cute, but he's not Chris.
really
That's
strong.
ruckus.
Oh my god, this is off the rails. This is.
Rails?
I
There
like
were
it.
rails? Where did you get rails from?
You know
them
what? Why do we
rails.
play D&D when we could just talk? much
Isn't
less
that
prep
D&D?
Because we really
was too-
like telling stories.
It was 2 years of prep to get here.
And here we are.
Oh man.
We've made it.
Yeah, we're back in movie talk.
Yeah, Bo, you're very right in that one. You never
Mhm.
leave movie talk.
Yeah, we're always there.
No,
my
Jason Momoa.
list of movies movies and shows that I need to see is getting longer by the day.
Jason
Mm.
Momoa.
I
You
would go
can't
for
afford-
Jason Momoa.
You can't afford Jason Momoa. He wouldn't sign up to play this. He
But we
wouldn't
can
sign up to
afford
play.
The Rock.
This is so beneath him. You
The
would.
Rock is the
Hold on.
most
No.
paid actor.
It doesn't matter. We could choose any actor. I really like
Yeah.
Jason Momoa. He's yoked, and I bet you that he would absolutely have a blast with the role.
The
Don't see
voice.
Aquaman? He's an
The
a-hole.
voice doesn't match, man.
Oh, neither does The
You know,
Rock. I
I
play
never
Ruckus
chose The
very
Rock.
high.
The Rock is a bad choice for Ruckus.
Who would you
Also,
choose?
though,
Liam.
Oh, Channing Tatum. Oh.
Jason
And
Momoa,
Liam.
Jason Momoa looks like the biggest bad guy that you'd ever see, like super meh, whatever.
He would
One
play
of the nicest-
Harabus.
He's one of the nicest
Yeah.
people I've ever
Oh, yeah.
met.
Really, you
Oh,
would go
really?
Jason Momoa
Yeah,
for
you follow-
Harabaz? I would take the
No.
guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave Bautista. Is that
Batista,
him?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a little
Okay.
seasoned, but maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah.
A younger
Yeah.
Joe Manganiello, maybe. When he
Yeah.
was super into Dragonlance.
Yeah. Well, that's today.
Fair.
I concur.
Uh,
Musical.
So,
I want a musical one shot.
All right, chat. Last chance, last question. Throw it at us. What have we missed? What best moment did we forget? What
There's one.
terrible
From Half-
decision did I make? All the Daves were terrible.
Mm.
No,
No.
Thomas.
I was
what was your
reading the
favorite
question.
Dave? That was a question earlier. What was your favorite Dave?
Yeah.
There's so many.
I'm going
The
to roll
one
that
who
back for
died
a second, though,
in the
Thomas, because
bathroom.
I know that imposter syndrome be strong. Cut it out. You tell good story.
Very.
And I've got to
Yeah, this is
say,
great.
jumping on that, the last 2 years has definitely been possible because of you, because of Amy, because of so many people who have put a lot of work in, and it's extremely appreciated. This is, as I said, the first time that I personally have gotten to this level to play in a campaign this long, and it means so much to me. So I really wanted to thank you for this amazing experience that you have given us. And thank everyone here for the last 2 years and how we, showed up on day one, kind of session zero type thing, talking about our characters and getting to know each other to now. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So
Neither
thank
would I.
you.
And also all of the big shout outs to Amy making things happen behind the scenes, because we couldn't do this without her either. And, we don't see her on this stream very often, but she is integral to us.
Hmm.
It
And of
feels-
course to the fans, but
Yes, of course.
Thank you for following. And
Right.
for like the whole journey too. Like, I don't know if we originally planned for almost 100 episodes, or 96, but it's crazy that we got there. And
Right.
I really like how we got there. Like, there were a lot of good arcs in between, and it was a great ride.
It really was. And I mean, we laugh and joke and it's silly and all of that stuff, but we tell good story. And I like it. It's been certainly a saving sanity point for me the last year that we've been doing this in isolation, coming up on a year now. And I don't know how I would have done in the pandemic without this.
So
There you go. We got really real here at the end.
well,
I
yes.
feel it.
And thank you guys, as players, as people, giving us every Tuesday. It's not easy. to do that. So thank you for watching. Thank you guys for playing. One of the questions was, how long before season 2?
Good question.
Oh, yeah.
I would like season 2 to be in person. The Return of Natural One is in person, and that means we need more shots in arms. Just straight up, we all need to be vaccinated twice to get in here. The studio is big enough, and I know the technology that if we needed to be in here spread apart, we could be 6 feet apart in the studio. Problem is, in the control room, we would be on top of each other.
Yeah.
Because it is tiny and small. So we are, we need to be vaccinated. 80% vaccinated. How about that? Oh, that's
So you mean four of us in this call need to be vaccinated?
yes.
That's good because I have COVID. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Has anyone had COVID?
I've had many a test.
If
A lot
I
of coworkers
had it, it was probably like in the span between January and March, but I don't think so. But yeah, since I've tested, no. But I've had anxiety as if I did. Like I've had shortness of breath. I'm like, oh my God,
Sure.
is this it?
Yeah.
Like anytime that I cough and I cough more than once, it's like, oh God, is this COVID?
Yeah.
That anxiety is not going anywhere.
Kelly has asthma, so like she's at risk for sure. And when I hear her like coughing or something because of the asthma, I'm always like, is it COVID? Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's very scary stuff.
Whew. So yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
happy
so
here at
that's
the
the
end.
answer. That's the answer to that. It's when it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to put anyone at risk. And in the meantime, we're going to be doing some other stuff. We are going to be trying to throw in some carbon 2185 into some places. We are going to try and be, we're doing a 2-shot. Have to nail this down. So there's a Kickstarter that launches
The end of this
tomorrow.
month. Oh God.
It might have launched today. I should look. I would have gotten an email if they launched today. I just delivered files like at 4:00. I think it launches tomorrow. It's called Freelancer RPG. It is a very interesting system and system in the sense that the world is very cool. It is a World War I type era in a fictional land called Telindia, where there are bunch of different species. So there are mouse people and dog people. There are rat men. There are hares. There are bunny people. There are humans and half elves as well, and elves. It's a very interesting story. It is diesel punk sort of was one word thrown around. So there are airships. There is ship to ship airship combat. There are rifles, so bolt action rifles. There are cannons. There are all sorts of cool stuff like that. And it uses the D10 system where you are rolling for successes, right? So I don't know if it's a dice pool mechanic, if that's the exact thing, but I think it is, right? So you have a pool of dice, your stat plus your skill, you roll it. If you get 7 or better, you succeed, and you need a number of successes to beat somebody's defense rating type of thing. But the 10s explode. So every time you get a 10, you roll another die. And we were doing a character creation or a game with Laura, and she rolled like 3 10s in a row, like rolls the 10, then it explodes. She rolls one more, it's a 10. She rolls another one and just like
amazing.
smash this little rat creature. But that is launching. We're going to be playing that on the stream for 2 sessions, so 2 Tuesdays. It's 2-shot. It really is. It's 2-shot.
No, I tease you, but the one that he did with Lusan, that actually was a 2-shot.
Yeah. Gates of Lusan. That was a 2-shot, yeah, I think.
And a successful 2-shot. That was well done.
Well, I think that module was supposed to be as a demo 1-shot. So,
But you
We're like,
planned it as a 2-shot.
we got to play this system a few months ago with some Patreon members. So it was just to test out the system. I think it was like we had a day notice, and I just posted to Patreon, "Hey, who wants to come and play a game with us?" And then we got some people to play. Lucifer Vilchek stayed up very late for that. We had some great people on that, and so that system is coming out. It's going to be fun. Then Candlekeep Mysteries is coming out, and I think that we want to do some of that.
We've been talking about it. We need to actually like sit down and pin that down. But I as far as I know, I'm running Candlekeep.
We have
pin the rest of that down, but you have a DM at least.
Mm-hmm.
The Foxy regular scroll is in there flying under the radar. Never going to be found.
I'm going to do I'm going to have someone do like a find object spell just to find it and destroy it.
Let's see. Andrea wants to know if we play any Delta Green on the channel. We don't, but we do in podcast form.
Say, is it a redacted report, Delta Green ish?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. So I had no desire to play it until I started listening to the podcast, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool system.
It's a pretty cool system because it's very much like Call of Cthulhu, but there's no hard and critical successes, not really. So it's a difference. It's a similar system but a different system, and it's Lovecraftian horror, which I just love.
Yeah, I am really enjoying Down Darker Trails. I think that is a lot of fun.
You know what? We should start playing some Warhammer on the channel.
Ezra's ears just turned bright red, where he's like, someone talking about my favorite system.
Hey Warren, there was a question earlier. When's that Warren v. Aaron gonna come out where I guest star?
That's a good question. Aaron is a lot like I put this squarely on your lap, Aaron.
Thank you.
Aaron's a lot like Ruckus in that because I was like, I thought he was already editing this, and then he was like, oh yeah, no. So he's doing which one is he doing now?
He's doing actually
Bo's.
The guest Warren and Aaron and Bo, the Wumba. Nope, that's the womb.
The 13th Warrior.
Anyway, yes, we're doing the new episode. He's currently editing it. Hopefully within the next week or two. I think he's done. He said
tomorrow or the next day, but we have to review it and revise it before we say, okay, this is fine. And I said, hey, do some new memes. We've got some feedback that you're getting a little lazy with your edits here. Also,
use some
take these
Bernie.
hits. Yeah, right.
Oh, you have to use Bernie meme at least once.
Yeah, you've got all these.
There.
The problem is he's in the Middle East, so he might not be up to speed with like American reference memes. But I think he's doing. I enjoy it. Thomas is not a fan, but we
I
send it
just
out.
don't like Zach Galifianakis, so that's it.
You don't like that
rule.
meme? That is the best. I think. Yeah, I like this editor, but he does take his time. So hopefully soon. It's already been streamed on here, so no need to premiere it. We can just upload it and publish it. Yeah.
It takes time to churn out gold
before the end of the week.
All right. So the other thing is Ezra has his Keep the Game Moving podcast, which is interviews with game designers. We are working on bringing that into our channel, but for now it's out there on his own channel for Keep the Game Moving. I sent him with login information, but I don't know if he's accepted to be able to upload it to our channel. But he's doing interviews with GMs and basically talking about GMing and keeping the game moving, which is something that can actually not happen when you're just talking in circles and talking in circles and talking in circles.
Honestly,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But sometimes that's
useful information because I do look up stuff like that on YouTube right ahead of Carbon stuff. So yeah, definitely could use some tips there.
You know, but sometimes you need 7 shopping episodes, and it's really good character development, and it's just what you need.
And I mean, I've played with Ezra for the last couple of years, certainly not as long as Thomas and Amy have. But if you want tips, Warren, he's a good one to go to because he has tons of experience in keeping things moving because he's done years and years of con games where everything has to get wrapped up in 3 to 4 hours.
Gotcha.
You can certainly go too fast. I know that there are occasions where like he's moved on before.
Yep.
We're like, well, we're not. Okay, I guess we're moving on.
I guess we're moving on.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we really are like, no, wait, stop, he will stop.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this bad thing happened to you. Well, that's because I didn't get a chance to tell you I was gonna.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, every GM has their strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy when the characters are interacting with each other in the world that you've built, but at the same time acknowledging like we're never gonna get to this today. You know? Like,
yeah. I mean, we did that on Carbon, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just like how about we attack? I think it was. we had already come out of the sewers, like, and we see the doctor and then the people. It's like, what do we do? Do we sneak past? No, somebody throw a grenade. Let's just let's get this thing moving.
At some point, I'm like, when does this deliberation, like each action is 6 seconds, but like, what is deliberation time really? Like until you're noticed in the corner conspiring and planning by this like NPC.
We do not discuss Akupara.
Hey, I am open to discuss Akupara anytime. I absolutely loved Akupara.
No, it was
great. I love giving my players that space. I know that, the titles were off episode after episode after episode.
That's what really made it funny.
It played out like One Piece, like the name of the episode was like only the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, but the content, I gotta say, you guys were so amazing, and I wanted to give you all that time. That you guys were brilliant.
And you sped it up too, so that's the funny part.
I did. I took a day out. I did.
Yeah, the other people don't name their shows until they're done with them.
That doesn't make sense. Why?
I will say that is one of the nice things about editing a podcast. We can give the episode a name that actually makes sense for what happens in the episode. It's wonderfully freeing to not have to worry about naming something before we go into the episode.
Yeah, but then what are all the people going to do who gamble on if they're actually going to hit the name of the episode?
Vegas would grind to a halt if we stop doing that.
They have to come up with a different drinking game. That's all.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up. It's after 9 o'clock. A Natural One talk show, I think, is the next thing to do to wrap. Kind of figure out where we are, what's moving next. We should do that before we come back, just so there's a nice recap sort of episode before actual being back, which again we have no idea when it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, seeing what we can do there for that recap to get everyone up to speed and ready to jump off, because there's going to be some changes, some new adventures, and excited for it. So we'll figure it out.
All right, so yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for sticking with us, for being with us on this journey to 90. This is episode 97. I thought we would end at 80. I know that there was, again, trying to be better. I know that there were episodes in there where I was like, I could have pushed, I could have kept this game moving, but it's a lot of those character moments that forest. Okay, we're back in the show. That forest moment on Salt Marsh, where Remy and Atrocity were having that conversation. It was, I let it play out as long as I could until I realized it wasn't going to, Remfrost, it wasn't going to happen. I'm like, nope, bad things coming.
That's great.
It's ending at episode 97 is really going to mess with my OCD.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. We have to do 3 more epides just to not.
That's fine. 3 special episodes. You know what I mean? Like
a Christmas episode. We get to. Luke we finds his family.
We have to fight Krampus.
So I do have a few special adventures that I want to do with you guys as D&D plus other media. So we will we'll see. Maybe we'll name those 98, 99, and 100.
We have
Just-
to. Just
like it.
for the fun of it.
Fighting Krampus.
Oh God, yeah. Somebody said a musical episode. I'm like, oh.
I am so here for that, though.
I
Why
would love
not?
to have a music meister kind of villain, you know? Just like, why are you making us sing out of all the things you could do? Ah.
Once
know,
more
I've-
with feeling.
I've done
Killer Queen.
karaoke with a couple of these people. I think it'd be quite good.
I
Yeah.
think we could, if we give people sort of like, or whoever the MC or audio engineer would be, our song selection, we could definitely work in a musical episode. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
I know at least 3 people on this stream can sing, and it wouldn't surprise me if the other 2 could as well.
The Ruckus of the turret is here.
Well, then you're
No,
just
I'm-
gonna have to speak sing like Rack Harris, like Rex
It's-
Harrison.
Or out of
It's got to be
Gala
Gallop.
here can sing.
It's got to be Gallivant style. It's got to be Ellen Menken. You know what I mean? That type
Yes.
of musical
It's
classic.
not my fault you guys went karaoke without me.
Don't
Lame
look at
is-
me. It was Bo's birthday. I don't invite
invited
other
you.
people to people's birthdays.
I invited
Ooh,
Warren.
Oh, actually, what we should do is we should do the Hush episode of Buffy.
Yeah.
But nobody
How are we
can-
going to do that? That's going to be an amazing podcast episode.
That poor podcast listeners.
Best
He
Buffy
gives a thumbs
episode,
up.
by the way.
Oh
Hands
yeah,
down.
hands down. All right. So really, thank you guys. Thank you for making this special. We've got more stuff on the channel. So like every day, it seems like there's stuff. We might upload 10 things to YouTube one day. Sorry for those of you who get notifications. Please like us, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. We've been stagnant. We haven't grown our Twitter following, and we'd love to get a few more. We're actively posting things on Instagram occasionally. So all the clips, it's the clips. The clips hit YouTube and Instagram because I finally figure out how to post Instagram from my computer like a
Well done.
true old person.
You're supposed to do it from your phone, and you're doing it wrong. It's meant for your phone.
It's
That's
really
why.
hard to get good video onto your phone, to be fair.
Email it to yourself and download it as an asset.
Yeah,
That
just
works.
sounds-
Do you know how much room a phone usually has?
A lot.
Like 150 gigs.
A lot.
Yeah, like 100 more gigs than that.
Yeah.
well, I know how to do it
Damn
from
it.
Windows 95, so I'm gonna keep doing it from Windows 95.
Cool.
What about Vista? You a Vista man?
I'm never switching from
Yeah,
Vista.
it's like-
People give it a bad rap.
That guy who just won't update from Vista because he loves Vista.
That was the perfect system.
I
Those
love it
people
that my computer
exist.
is hacked and taken over.
That's like a running gag on this British show called Peep Show. This like business guy is like, people give Vista a bad name, but I'm never switching.
Mm-hmm. So I'm
Oh,
talking
God.
about.
Well,
Please make it
much like Return of the King, we have ended like 3 times now.
It's been
Yeah.
great. We just don't want to see the end of
It's
season
true.
1.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
The-
true.
Campaign
time.
2 is in the works. There are things happening. We have a long way to go before we launch that, but I'm looking forward to it. I love mysteries. So,
I am gonna flirt with Thomas so much.
What would your character's intro songs be as they're introduced on the musical episode, starting from someone?
Oh, old campaign?
The first episode,
Or-
if the first episode is a musical and your character has their entry song introducing them.
I have legitimately never found a song that suits Andraste. I have playlists for so many other characters. I don't have anything for Andraste, and it's driving me mad.
Back in Black?
Amy Winehouse?
No,
What?
that's the album. He's talking to
Amy
ACDC.
Winehouse?
Oh, AC.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Back in Black. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
That's where my mind
That's
went.
back
I
to
love
black.
that
isn't it?
Back
album.
to Black. Okay.
I love that
to
album.
Black.
But no, ACDC.
on that bombshell, we are done. We are goodbye. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will see you on our other shows, which are big campaigns. You know, Dragon of Ice Fire Peak started as a 8-shot. We're on episode 23 or something. So it is going. It is going because COVID is going, and everyone out there should stay. As James says when he signs off, stay safe. Wear a mask. Thank you guys. We will see you another time.
Take care of
I miss
yourself
you already.
and each other.
Yeah.